Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Before we jump into my Pan That Palette update, I just want to say thank you. I got such a warm, positive response on my Bath & Body Works empties video, and not that you guys aren't ever like positive, but it was just really nice to hear that a lot of you were excited that I like made my comeback or that you had missed my content. Because truthfully, I really missed filming. I felt this like sort of creative void while I didn't have my camera, and I kept like saying to Ben, all I want to do is film, all I want to do is film videos, like I just want to take my mind off things, and I'm just very happy to be back. So thank you for the positivity that you sent my way. Without further ado, let's talk about the real reason why you're here today, which is to find out what I've been up to with my Pan Those palettes. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what my palettes looked like after 3 months of usage. And since I didn't wear a whole lot of makeup at the start of May, I can truthfully tell you that this is what my two palettes look like after 4 months of usage. Here is my Lorac Pro 1 palette. And here is my Cargo Summer in the City palette. So as I said back at the end of March, my goal in April was to, one, really try to get some more pan showing on my palettes, and two, to be really exploratory. And I had this weird moment at the start of the month where I was saying to myself, like, oh, why don't you just go ham on like that taupe shade from the Lorac palette and like that lovely like soft shimmery lid shade in the Cargo palette? And then I said to myself, like, why would I want to do that? Those are two shades that are so easy for a go-to look. Why wouldn't I want to wait for a time when I want to have an easy go-to, gotta go to work kind of look where I'm not doing any kind of experimenting? Why don't I just try to experiment as much as I can? And once I kind of sort of was okay with that and resided myself to that thought, I really started to do some serious exploring. So the first thing that I did was I did a bunch of more looks using gold, and I ended up getting some pan showing on here. I also widened my pans on my light bronze and pewter, and as you guys can see, I did still do some easy looks using taupe. So I'm really happy with the progress that I'm seeing in this palette, especially because it's more of like a secondary palette. My main focus is really on the Cargo palette. As you guys can also see, unintentionally, I don't have anything to show you in light pink. As I had discussed in April, as I had discussed in March, I was getting really tired of pulling out my big ColourPop magnetic palette along with these two palettes every single day just to have access to this Too Faced shade that I've been working on for what feels like eons. So I was finally ready to sort of reckon with that concept by taking my Too Faced shade and putting it into here. So I did. You guys can see that I scraped from the end here and repressed it into here. Let me tell you, that was like a godsend for this shade. Really infusing this with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and repressing it made this shade lovely. It's much less hard pressed. I was able to get a lot of product really effectively on my brush, and it was so effective that I repanned that. Like, there's nothing in here. I didn't put like a ton of product in here. I mean, I definitely scraped just a small amount, as you can see on the end there. So I think I might do a bit more product so that I won't have to repress it every single month, but it worked like a charm. So I'm definitely excited to have seen that progress. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm just content that I'm seeing more and more progress on these shades, and it's working really well alongside my cargo palette. As for my cargo palette, you guys can see that I've got pan on 2 new shades. I have pan on Rosé and on Bike Ride, and then I also widened pretty aggressively. I widened Rooftops pan, and I also widened Summer Love. What I was doing essentially was I was doing a lot of exploration, and I really liked a lot of the looks I came up with. The first look that I was really pleased with was I was using Breeze with Pool Party. A lot of like the most recent videos before my hiatus that you guys saw, I was doing a lot of playing around, and I really did like Breeze and Pool Party together. I will say I think it's a little bit of a heavy look to do for school, so I probably wouldn't wear that to school, but like on the weekends I think it definitely can work. I don't see myself panning Pool Party or Chill completely, but I could see myself hitting pan on one of them at least, which I'm totally fine with. I also found myself mixing Summer Love with Pool Party, like a pinky purple look, which I actually liked. I also found myself using Rooftop with a lot of other shades besides just brown, which was really interesting. I also tried Rosé and Summer Love together. Even though they don't look it in the pans, I think that they're a little bit too similar, so you don't get enough differentiation when you have them on your eyes. So I wasn't a big fan of that. I also tried using Bike Ride with a few other color combinations. So I was pleased to sort of get my exploration on. I don't necessarily know if I got a whole lot of easy wear to school looks as much as I would have liked, but I at least was getting more use out of these. And I feel better about where I'm at overall with this palette. Going into the rest of May, I just want to keep playing and just seeing. I sort of went through a phase where when I didn't have my camera to film, I felt less inclined to put makeup on. I didn't expect for that to happen, and I don't necessarily want to say that I only am putting makeup on to film. I did find on days where I was like, just put makeup on anyways, I was more productive. But now that I'm done with my graduate program, which thank the Lord, because that program was soul sucking, and I'm so glad to have all this time back for myself. But now that I don't have as much work on my plate, I don't need a whole lot of motivation, if that makes any sense. I can kind of get by with not having to work 24/7 the way I was finishing up my grad program. So I just want to get back in the habit of wearing makeup and playing around with makeup. So I'm shooting for wearing makeup 3 or 4 days a week versus my typical 6. And I'm hoping by that I'll be able to show you guys some progress in the next few weeks. It'll definitely feel like a much quicker update because we're nearing the end of May rapidly. But that is it for me. Not too long, rather short and sweet. But I hope you enjoyed seeing my progress, and I will talk to you in the next video real soon. Bye.